What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today, man, I got a very special, unique, and rare build in store for y'all today. Now, I'm going to be calling this one the two-way post playmaking bully. Now, the build name is actually going to come out to a diamond 3-level threat, but this build is part post scorer, definitely finisher, mid-range assassin, 3-point shooting, dribbling lockdown bully. Now, for this build, we're going to be able to get a total of 20 Hall of Fame badges. Now, just to give y'all a hint, some of those will be bulldozer, physical handles, float game, post fade phenom, a lot of badges when it comes down to the finishing, and also when it comes to the defensive end, immovable force. When it comes to the gold badges, we'll be able to get 20, 21 silver, 4 bronze, giving us a total of 55. Now, this is really one of the best catfish post scorers. Also, another lockdown defender build that you can add to your arsenal. Now, this is one of the most special offensive builds that I brought to y'all in a while. Really all around, and it's definitely user friendly, so I give this one a 10 out of 10. As for the badges, I think this is what really makes the build special. And as for uniqueness, this is probably one of my most favorite builds that I've brought to y'all. So look, I just want to say thank y'all so much for the support. With that being said, we'll also be able to get a 99 plus when it comes to our post control, driving layup, mid-range shot and 3-pointer, perimeter defense, pass accuracy, ball handle, free throw steal, and strain. Now we'll be able to get all of the layup packages and the pro upgrades for the dribbling. So look, before we get any further into the video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So to get started, let's go ahead and put this build under the point guard position. As for the height, I'm going to go with 6'8". Getting into the weight, I really do believe that 228 is going to be best. And then finally for this wingspan, make sure you go with 6'10". Now this will allow you to get a lot of animations unlocked, especially abilities for the offensive side of the ball. Now if you have any questions, be sure to drop them down below. And if there's anything that you would see along the way to make this build even better, go ahead and let me know. So let's get started with the most important area, the physicals. So as for when it comes to the speed, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 81. Moving on to my acceleration, go with a 73. Now both of these numbers, not only will they allow you to be effective with the offensive moves, but be able to keep up with pretty much any type of ball handler. Now for the strength, I'm going to go with a 96, and this definitely is going to upgrade your inside defense. Now for the vertical, I'm going to leave this at a 51 with a stamina of a 94. Now remember, once we do our Gatorade facility workouts, we get a +4 put towards this area, so we'll be able to get an 85 speed, 77 acceleration. On this build, we get a 100 strength, which is what I think makes it super special. As you can see already, the bulldozer badge, immovable force, 51 vertical, but look, we get a 55, which I think is going to be enough. And then for the stamina, this is going to be a 98. Now really, I think you can make any type of changes to your own liking and playstyle, but for the build that I have in store for y'all today, you definitely don't want to do that. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the defensive end. So as for this defensive rebound, I'm going to go with a 40. Getting into the interior defense, go with a 60. As for the perimeter, I'm going to go with an 85. And then moving on to the steal, I'm going to go with the same exact thing. Now these two numbers, I'm telling y'all, really meets a threshold to be really effective on the defensive end. As you can see, when it comes to our badges, the ones that I do like are definitely going to be clamps. We also get challenger, fast feet, and 94 feet. As for our steel, we get glove on silver, interceptor with right stick ripper. Now really for this build, I think it's going to allow us to use the rest of the overall towards our offensive end, and you're really going to see just how special we can be out of this area. So as for the playmaking, I'm going to go with a speed with ball of a 75. Moving into the ball handle, I like this best at an 85. And then moving into the pass accuracy, I'm going to go with a 91. Now look, as you can see, one badge that I think is really special, if you have not noticed, is going to be silver bailout. Now for other badges, I do like gold break starter. We also get relay passer, touch passer with Hall of Fame special delivery. Now for the ball handle, we'll be able to get silver unpluckable, also gold ankle breaker, blow by and handles for days. Like I mentioned, we do get Hall of Fame physical handles, speed booster on the silver tier with killer combos and triple strike. And then for the speed with ball, the badges that I like most for this area is really going to be hyperdrive and triple strike. I think for all three ends on this build, what we've upgraded, there's really nothing that this build cannot go up against and find success with, especially if you take this build into the 1v1 setting. I think you're going to be just fine and really be able to take any type of game mode over. Now as for the shooting, I'm going to go ahead and put my free throw up to a 90 on this build. That's going to give us the gold free points badge. As for the three-pointer, I like this best at an 86. And then moving into the mid-range shot, I'm going to go with a 92. Now look, for those of y'all who know anything about the mid-range this year, having this high of a rating is really going to allow you to not only spread the floor, but be a huge headache for the defense on the interior. So as you can see, we get badges like blinders, catch and shoot with Deadeye, green machine I like, but space creator on gold is probably, let alone, one of the most cheesiest badges this year. Now we also will be able to get guard up on Hall of Fame, midi magician with open looks, then we also get silver whistle. As for when it comes to the 3-point badges, look, we do get bronze limitless range, silver agent 3, spot finder as well. I think for this build, you're really set in stone to have a lot of success with it and be able to have fun. Now when it comes to the finishing, getting into the post control, make sure you go with a 92. Now as for when it comes to the driving layup, I'm going to go with a 91. And then for the close shot, this is going to be maxed out at a 71. Now if you're wondering why I didn't upgrade anything on the driving dunk, I truly believe that if you make this build exactly how I'm bringing it to y'all, the badges that we'll get for the finishing are going to be Hall of Fame back down Punisher, we get Hall of Fame Dream Shake, and this badge really does allow you to break ankles inside the post. Others that I like are gold Drop Stepper, we get Silver Hook Specialist, Post Fade for non-post playmaker, and Post Spin Technician. This rating for the driving layup will allow us to unlock every single layup package. I like Fearless Finisher on gold with Slithery. Hall of Fame Acrobat is very interesting because you pair it up with badges like Bunny, Hall of Fame Pro Touch, Scooper, Float Game. This is really going to be one of my most favorite badges once you see how effective it is. You also will be able to get Giant Slayer with Spin Cycle and 2-Step. And then for the close shot, this is pretty much self-explanatory. One badge that I think is really interesting is going to be Fast Twitch on bronze. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Is there anything that you would change on this build to possibly make it even better? But do take into consideration buying your own boost, activating your takeover, wearing gear, and the additional boost that we get from playing well throughout each game. Now let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made this build correctly. Now we should be able to get these 3 different comparisons, and as y'all can see, together we have created the most unique Diamond 3-level threat build in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now for this build, you've seen what we can do from the gameplay. Max this build out completely, and I promise you, you are in store for one of the top 3 best builds that you can possibly make for this year. So I just want to say also thank y'all for the support. I really appreciate y'all. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.